As is usual, the first item on the agenda is to review and hopefully approve the March meeting minutes. Does any have any comments or revision on the minutes?
I move to approve as submitted.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Motion second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the minutes pass. Moving on into the applications. 725 Greenville Avenue, John Creech, accessory structure renovation. Is Mr. Creech in the audience? Hi.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Answer any questions you have about this application, but basically, if you have the plans there before you, what we are proposing to do is some exterior and interior work on that accessory building. It's about 672 square feet back in the corner of our property. So what we're proposing to do, is to replace some of the doors. If you look at that building, I don't know if you had a chance to go out there.
Sure, we've reviewed the plans.
But I've got photographs if you'd like to see those.
Yeah, we'd like to see.
So basically, the way that is my understanding, the way that building was constructed, it was built as almost like a commercial storage type building. So it has steel doors all around. So what we'd like to do is replace all of those steel doors with window doors. And if you look at the front of it, there's double steel doors. We'd like to take those out according to the plans and put in double doors with frosted glass, as well as on the side there's two single doors. And right in the middle there is where one of the doors is. That's where we're proposing to build an indoor-outdoor bar, because this will basically be a pool house, as we had a pool constructed a couple years ago. Then there'll be some interior work to make it basically like an exterior bedroom. So it won't have it says kitchen on the plan, but it's not a full-fledged kitchen. It's really just a kind of a bar with a countertop and a refrigerator.
Okay. Before we get too far into this, I don't know if you're aware of in Glendale, the dwellings, the requirements for dwellings, secondary dwellings and such. And since you added a full bath and a bedroom as indicated on here, I'd ask the administrator to discuss what a dwelling is so that you're aware
Sure.
for future reference, all right?
Sure. Thank you, Chair. And I'm sure you're aware of this, John, in the village, under our code, permit one main building per lot, so that would be one main dwelling per lot. So for the purposes of this structure, it could not be rented out, or it could not be used as a permanent residence. But like you said, based on your descriptions and based on the facilities, the small kitchen that you're looking to install that you described not really as a kitchen, I under our zoning code, determined that it conformed with our code as an accessory structure. So it just need to maintain that use.
Sure. Yeah, it's not a separate dwelling unit for someone to live in.
Okay. All right.
But
Go ahead.
isn't it really a separate dwelling?
No.
Couldn't you have your mother-in-law live there or something if you wanted to? I mean, or if you didn't and you sold the house, couldn't somebody else have their son live there, or their mother-in-law live there, or somebody else live there? It has a bedroom, it has a bathroom, it has a kitchen.
Sure. Yeah, but they could do that now, I mean, basically. I mean, there's nothing.
If it were someone related, if it's a family member, is that
You
allowed?
can only have one dwelling on the property.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, no, it's not a separate dwelling.
And I see you don't have a stove. I don't even see a refrigerator in the kitchen. I'm sure you'll have some kind of refrigerator or maybe a microwave or something like that. So it's just when you labeled it a bedroom, it opened it up for the possibility of somebody living there. So,
If it was a changing room, we wouldn't be having this discussion.
Or a TV room, anything like that.
Right. Yeah. It'll be a changing.
Got it.
I mean,
Right. But no, it's a pool house, because right now, I didn't go into this, if you're care to hear this, but yeah, right now we have a swimming pool, and that house actually has a bathroom in our bedroom, and then one other half bath on the first floor. So if anyone's there at the pool where they want to change, they have to go in that tiny, bathroom to change. So, yeah, the big thing is, to make it a pool house.
All right.
Yeah, I understand that. It's just that you may not live there forever, and you may be I'm sure you're very sincere in how you're going to use it, but that doesn't mean that's the way people will use it in the future.
Well, we have a number of secondary buildings. I can think of at least two that are in the village that are in the same situation. And I would say until we have a problem with it, if it gets sold and somebody tries to change it, then they have a problem. It's not the creature's problem.
And I'm also aware of some pool houses that people let family stay in over the weekend or when they visit for a week. So it's not, and because you don't have a full-blown kitchen indicated in there, it's a very similar situation. So
I suggest that we formally change it from bedroom to changing room.
is that acceptable to you?
Sure.
Would that satisfy?
That would work. Then somebody can't come back later and say, look, I got a set of the plans that says bedroom.
Okay. All right.
Okay, just a question and comment. It looked to me from the aerial photographs on the auditor's website like this is a fairly recent building. It's not I think we should just make it clear, it's not a historic building,
Oh, in time, you mean? Yes, right.
right?
It's 10 years.
About 10 years old?
10 to 15 years old, yeah.
Okay. And so it's not inappropriate to change it. My only concern was that we use materials that are compatible with the historic district, and the infill in the center bay called for corrugated metal.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering if you would consider using some kind of wood siding or hardy plank or matching that. This is some sort of stucco-like surface. If you would consider doing that, because corrugated metal is really not appropriate for our district.
Right. Yeah, we could look at that. I mean, whatever that material is that goes there eventually, it'll be painted a dark color, just like the trim on that building. So, I mean, probably from the street, it's probably over 100 feet from the street. I'm not sure you would see it, but
Yeah.
yeah, we can look at that.
It's just, yeah, you understand. It's
Yeah.
not it's
Sure.
not a material for a historic district, so.
They do make stucco-like panels too, if that was
Right.
what you're thinking of doing.
Do you have a suggestion you wanted to put in your motion or in a motion or?
Well, it's not clear to me whether it should be a material that matches the rest of the surface, or it could be a contrasting material. I sort of like the idea of the contrast, because then that bay continues to read the way it is now. So were you planning to have something dark under there?
Yeah,
A dark
so-
surface?
So, yeah, where that
Yeah.
is, there'll be windows there, just like on the plans, and that'll be either some folding windows or a retractable type short window, like a garage door. So it'll be either of those, but they'll all match in color, just like in the general size of all the windows that are in that building already.
Okay.
And I would think they want something that's different than the stucco, because if people's feet are up against that, you're going to have a mess. So
be a
you want
mess.
something that's, one, that contrasts, but two, that's fairly substantial to the abuse that it'll get.
Right, so, yeah, it'll be underneath the tabletop.
The bar,
right.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, I get it now. So there's going to be a counter?
Yes.
or
Yes.
some- Oh, okay. So that's why it was called a kick plate. I didn't get that. Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, the corrugated metal.
You
might
actually
be the
call
best.
out new egress windows also.
Right.
And is your intent that those just match the window that's on the side?
Yes,
And
they will
what
match.
kind of window is that? Is it just what's it manufactured of? Is that vinyl or
The
wood
Anderson
or?
folding pass-through style.
I think the
I think with
windows
the
that
age
were,
of it, it's probably going to not be wood.
yeah, they were either renewal
Egress
by
window to match
Anderson Windows
existing
or it was a Marvin window.
And then on your elevations, you show, it says replace flush door with a full glass panel door. So it's just one big single pane inset in the door, right? It's not just a glass door.
Right, right.
Okay.
Yeah, no French door. It'll just be, the intent is that it'll just be frosted glass.
Okay.
Okay, so,
So are you thinking,
well, I would move approval of your application with two amendments. One would be to relabel the bedroom as a changing room, and the second one would be to change to a more compatible material under the counter, which could be wood.
And second,
so let me get this right, paint, like wood, painted wood? Do you have any particular style? Vertical boards, horizontal?
No, I don't.
Oh, could I add one
Just
thing? You
wood.
know, I'm just standing here
Okay.
looking right behind you there at the,
Yeah.
on the, right there in the front
Like
of that
that?
stage, some material like
Okay.
that. It'll be vertical.
Probably vertical wood
right.
panels. Okay.
Vertical, wood, painted.
there isn't
Okay.
anything on your current home similar.
No, there's not,
Okay.
no. But yeah, I mean,
This is
it'd be
impressive.
painted the same color as all the trim.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
But you can get AZAC that looks just like wood, and it'll be beautiful when you paint it, and it will hold up to almost anything.
What was that, Randy?
Excuse me?
What did you say?
AZAC, they can get
Oh,
AZAC,
AZAC,
which,
okay.
which
AZAC's a
looks
very
just
good
like
product.
wood,
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah.
poly.
It holds paint great,
vinyl.
too.
Yeah.
Okay, make a note of that. Any other discussion? All right, was there a second?
Yeah.
Bob has, or Dan had a second. All right, good. Any other discussion? All in favor of the motion as with the two amendments, conditions rather, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. And you've done a really good job on the landscaping, cleaning out all that front. It really,
Yeah,
it looks nice. It's very good, very good.
Still work to
it's
do.
only taken us 30 years.
All right, thank y'all.
Thank you.
All right, second on the agenda, 55 Coral, Sue Anderson fence. Welcome back. The pool project. And this particular one is just for the fence with the gates.
Right,
Correct.
so it's two-part, the fence and the deck, to complete the backyard.
Yeah, I've got them here as two separate
Right.
apps. So
So
let's
you've
just
got
do the
the
fence
fence-
first, and then
the
we'll do the
fence.
deck, okay? So we've seen the plans. Do you have anything else to?
Well, initially, we kind of liked the black wrought iron, and that's initially what we were looking at. However, it's like a 6-month wait on the materials. So we were looking around, and we actually used a company that the neighbor down the street had used, and so we found I think it's called
Kentucky board, yeah.
Yeah, and the plan is to, then you have to let it,
This one?
yes.
Okay.
Oh, that's the neighbors, yeah.
But that's the style.
But that's the, yeah, that's the style.
And then the gate with the vertical.
And then the plan would be it's gonna go in as a light wood, and it has to.
6 months.
Right.
Yeah, and then then the plan would be to stain it like that darker color, which I think would go better with, the railing in the front of the house, and.
Okay. Are there any?
And that was,
Right. See,
which made it a little more difficult to put the fence, because we have to put the big double gate for the driveway, and it'll open toward the garage.
right.
And then we put a gate on the other side, and that'll open toward the street.
Yep. Okay. Any?
And I meant to take a picture of, well, that'll be for the deck.
Anybody?
Self-closing.
Pardon?
Do these gates have to be self-closing?
I don't know, do they? Do the gates have to be self-closing?
Yes, and that was listed as a condition of the zoning code approval on the application, that self-closing and locking hardware
Yes.
would need to be installed.
Yes, and it's on there, it's for, because of the pool, it's,
Correct.
will have
Okay.
the,
So
All
the
right.
driveway one has to be self-closing too?
It's a large gate.
All right. Any other questions for the fence portion of the application?
Is the infill fence piece would be on the property side, so you wouldn't see it stapled to the outside, correct? The infill metal fence piece, that would be on the inside of the fence, so on the yard
yes,
side? Yeah.
yes.
All right.
I move to approve as submitted.
And it has to be finished side to the exterior, to
Right.
the outside.
Second.
Hello, we've had a motion, a second. Any other comments from the audience? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that one passes.
One
Thank you.
down.
All right, let's see, then the next one, the deck around the pool, between the house and the pool. Like I said, this is we talked about this the last time we came.
Yeah, so
No.
I kind of took a picture of, and I meant to print it out, so I didn't know what currently, there's just a stoop
Right, right.
on the, I don't know if I even included that, but
We've
this
seen,
is the area that we, and there's just a, currently just a stoop.
Yeah.
one question that came to mind for me, the only thing I was wanting to suggest is that the overhang of the roof, where it intersects the existing house roof, that you let it start, make it angle to the same pitch as the existing roof, so that when you're looking at the street, you just see that going back, instead of that thing, the roof jutting out, if you know what I'm talking.
On this side,
Right here, where this
yes,
juts
I see
out.
what you're saying.
It'll match, it should match the existing roof.
If they could, angle it. That was the only thing
Put a little
visually
valley in there.
I thought about, because if it went down like that and matched that, what I'm saying is at this point here, at the intersection point, have it angled so that it's in the
So
same
it
plane.
doesn't, yes,
Yeah.
it doesn't hang over from the street.
From the street, it just looks like a gutter going back with the roof. I think you'd like that better, and it'd look cleaner. That was my only comment.
Well, my other thought was just match the roof. Just below the fascia board,
Come
you
on.
could literally just match the roof
Well, that's an
there.
idea.
And
We thought about that too, but when we started planning, this is went in 5 different plans since we started.
Okay.
And that's, again, yeah, that was our first plan, just match the existing roof about 10 feet. That would be our porch.
So is that gonna be rubber membrane on that roof there, that flat one?
It isn't right now, yes.
I guess you could price it both ways. It may be cheaper to just bring it out with those little trusses and put
That's-
shingles on it.
That's what I was gonna ask too. I mean, hopefully we get the permit to go ahead and build it, but there might be some deviations to your point.
Yeah.
We might have.
Or we can put it in the motion that it could be either way.
Yeah,
So you're saying extend that
but
roof,
definitely,
sketch out.
definitely to have,
Yeah.
we'll have it.
Yeah.
on the
So that
end.
from the
Yeah,
street, you
that would be
wouldn't
the
see it.
alternate.
Okay.
Either bring it out or bring just that section down so that it matches at that last 5 feet or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we ran into the issue when once the pool got in, they put it in so much lower than, they dug it out so much lower than what we initially thought. We were hoping to just come off and maybe even utilize
Oh, I
the
see.
slab of
Yeah.
and then because of that, then we looked at doing half the deck and then going down a couple steps and then putting the rest of it. Then we were worried about having these steps in the middle of the deck,
Uh-huh.
so the best way, we
Don't want that.
hired someone,
I like it.
a contractor to do these plans for us,
Yeah.
and they were very detailed, as you could, I'm sure as you saw, but
So-
the best way, he said, and the safest way was to come off the house, so
Sure.
we'll get rid of those concrete steps altogether, and go off the house, come down, and then have one level deck.
Now, is the entire backyard going to be enclosed with fence with that
It
gate
is,
there?
yeah.
So,
Neighbors in the back is already fenced in, we have privacy fence.
okay. So my question, does that negate having to have any kind of a barrier to getting into the pool from the yard?
Yeah, because the whole yard's
Because the whole
fenced.
yard's already fenced?
Correct.
Okay, very good. Okay, that's all I have. Anybody else have any comments or questions?
I would move to approve with two options for the roof. One, to follow the line of the roof and just extend that out, or two, to have a flat roof, which then the part that would be exposed to the front, to the street, would follow the line of the roof.
Or what Bob said, you said, or trusses or whatever, follow
The
That was the
first is
first
to
one.
actually
Cable.
just follow the roof.
Yeah, just
The
bring your
whole-
trusses
the whole-
down.
The whole roof, and the second would be to have it flat and then follow the roof just on the piece that's exposed.
Okay.
That would probably be the way we'll go, just to be honest with you, right, for us, just follow the roof line, like you said, like you suggested.
Okay.
Yeah.
That can be incorporated very easy.
Okay. All right,
That's very good.
we'll put that in, those two conditions into the approval.
So you have
All right.
your choice on that. Yeah.
I'd second that.
All right, any comments from the audience, neighbors? All right. That's the motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Nice plans, very nice plans.
Yeah, they were nice plans.
It'll be a while before.
All right, the next item on the agenda, 18 West Sharon, Robert Harris fence.
Oh, it's like it's an Eagle Scout project.
Hi. Hey. You've heard how we operate. Let's see, your fence is this a Eagle Scout project?
Yes, yes,
All right,
it
well,
is.
then, tell us about it.
Well, my Eagle Scout project is to replace and beautify the existing fence that is around the dumpster around St. Gabe's,
Okay.
and to completely enclose it, and so it be more discreet, and to hide it from the public, because no one like to see the garbage.
Very good, very good.
And I have pictures that show the wear and tear of nature over the years of.
Okay, we'd like to see those, sure.
Thank you, sir.
And is this a wood enclosure?
Yes.
And you'll wait and let it season before you either stain or paint it? You'll let it age a while before you either stain or paint it, right?
It will be pressure treated.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we got constructed with prefab panels that come from Lowe's
Oh, okay.
that is already treated.
Great.
Yeah, that'll be a good project.
Yeah,
Obviously, it needs it.
it does need it.
Okay. All right. Are there any questions or comments?
I'd make a motion to accept it as submitted.
I'll second it.
All right. Any discussion from the audience? All right. Motion and second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, the
And-
motion passes.
Great
Thank you.
job.
Thank you.
And
Good project.
bravo.
Thank you.
All right, that concludes the agenda business. And then we have another item, other business. David, did you want to make your presentation or discussion at this time?
Certainly, thank you. This is not a formal application on the agenda, as it were, but this evening at council, there is an ordinance accepting the donation of the Skoranek family for a piece of artwork done by the late Jody Skoranek. I'm sure all of you know her and her wonderful contributions to the village. In order to go through the appropriate process, because this is proposed for installation at Floral Park, we were seeking the approval of the Planning Commission for the installation of the artwork. And I have a photo here that we're passing around, and I'm passing around. So this will be placed between two trees that have been planted one in Jody's memory and one in her husband Larry's memory. So that piece of artwork will be permanently installed at Floral Park between those two trees.
Which one's Floral Park?
The larger of the two parks along East Fountain.
On East Fountain, okay.
And will it have a concrete base?
Yes.
Yes.
I believe there's also plans for a small sign to indicate the name of the piece.
Now, is this a formal application at this time, or is this for discussion? Because we typically don't, as you know, we typically don't review. We haven't reviewed public property additions for certain things that I'm aware of, but
I'm not sure if the mayor would like to comment on procedure at this point, or if there's anything you'd like to add.
Well, it would be preferable to have a vote of council, planning commission, on this sculpture, approving it for the installation at the park, just so that the council knows that everyone appropriate has been consulted. The Urban Forestry Board has been consulted on this, and they have approved it. This came up rather suddenly for us. We thought we had more time, and then the family told us, well, we really want to get this done by April 9th, next Saturday, this coming Saturday. So we've scrambled a little bit, but it is, I think, as close to an obvious decision, without insulting or presuming to preempt the planning commission on that, as you can have.
I agree. The only thing typically we'd want to see a site plan of where in the park you're going to put it, orientation, that sort of thing. Is that
Well, I
that
can tell you,
available?
I can describe it pretty well, and I know it's not a site plan, but yeah. This is, if you go to the south end of Floral Park, the big park, and there are just two trees planted about 12, 15 feet apart, and then the sculpture will be between those two trees. I believe a little to the front of towards the edge of the park, but nowhere near really the edge of the park, just closer than the trees.
This is across from Reginald's house?
And it'll be equidistant between the two trees.
Higher up?
Will the foundation be deep enough so the tree roots don't start, moving it around?
I think it's far enough away from those. I mean, I'm not an expert, but the Urban Forestry Board seemed comfortable with it, that it won't damage the tree roots.
And what,
Below the freeze line for the foundation?
Those are two small trees, if I recall correctly.
Yes, they're relatively new.
Yeah, I think that's right there, right in this area.
and what will the base,
Must be across from that stone house next to Reginald's, right? Across from that stone house next to Reginald's, is that where it is?
Yeah.
Dylan? Okay, yeah.
Oh, so you're not down toward Fountain, you're up closer, or towards Ivy, you're up closer to Fountain.
More closer to Fountain.
Oh, okay.
Right.
and what will the base be
Up
like?
there.
The base for the sculpture, what, is it stone, is it,
I don't know.
will the picture concrete?
It's a concrete base.
But I think she was asking about the pedestal more than the base.
And then, I don't know what the pedestal is made out of, but
Oh. Fire plate? Oh, fired clay. So the base itself is fired clay, or the piece, the sculpture?
Pedestal and the sculpture are fired clay.
Okay,
The base will be concrete.
okay.
You ready for a motion?
I think it's a wonderful thing. I agree conceptually. I'm just asking for the sake of pointing out how we normally
Kay Muir
are.
has one.
So we can make the motion that I would at the discretion, placement at the discretion of the,
I think we just need a motion that will approve the acceptance of the sculpture by the village, and more particularly for this body, the placement of that sculpture at the south end of Floral Park, between the trees dedicated to Larry and Jody Skoranek.
would this be a recommendation to council vote, or is that really what we're doing?
I'm not sure. Why don't you just do it as
Have the-
a standard vote, and then if it's anything less than that, we'll cover it. We'll have it covered.
You can always overcommit.
Okay, I move approval of the placement of a statue by Jody Skoranek between the two trees at the south end of Floral Park.
I'll second it.
All right. We've had any additional discussion? All right, we got a motion and second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries. Thank you. That's it for the agenda. Are there any other items anybody wishes to bring this evening before I ask the mayor for his motion? You're on, Mayor.
Move we adjourn.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Adjourned. Thank you all.